morning. Our first recorded one by iPhone. So we are delighted that you were patient while we took care of some of the technological difficulties, but things should be set up great now. Thank you so much for joining us from afar today. We certainly look forward to when we can be together again, but for now we are grateful for technology. This morning I am Reverend Carolyn, your senior minister, and I will be your speaker for today. Reverend Ken, our associate, is our platform person, and our wonderful musicians from Mount Shasta, Anton and Laura, are with us. We are so grateful. So please, wherever you are, if you will join us in opening prayer, let us close our eyes. Take a deep breath and just sigh it out, knowing that ultimately all is always well. We can go through the little glitches of life being grateful that they are learning opportunities. We can feel grateful on this Thanksgiving Sunday that we have ways to stay connected with each other, even though we're not face to face. We are grateful for all the preparation that has gone into today, learning a new way of filming so that our FaceTime can hopefully be clearer and the sound even better than it's been. For each of the things that allow us to stay into contact with each other during this time of closing down, we are grateful and say thank you, God, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. Why don't we begin our service with Unity's first principle, and let's say this together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good. And our daily word for today is forgive. Our affirmation, in the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. If I hold on to feelings of hurt, betrayal, or anger in response to another person's actions, I block the flow of divine love and peace in my life. Likewise, holding on to guilt, shame, or embarrassment that may arise when I have hurt another person also keeps me from experiencing divine love and peace. Forgiveness removes all barriers, all obstacles, anything that may be disrupting my experience of the divine presence. In order to forgive myself or another person, I need not justify or approve behavior that is unwelcome. I need only to become willing to forgive. In the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. I feel the healing power of divine love as it dissolves all barriers, all illusion of separation. I forgive, and I am healed. And from Matthew 6:12, and forgive us our debts as we have also forgiven our debtors. The word for the day, forgive. The affirmation, in the peace of prayer, I release all unforgiveness. And now for our vision statement. As a vibrant, sacred community, we express the indwelling Christ Spirit and co-create a world that works for all. And our UCIR consciousness statement, join me if you know it. Divine order is now manifesting in every phase of this ministry through its expanding prosperity, attendance, and by being a light on the path for others. And now we're going to join in some music.
Thank you, Anton Miller. It was beautiful. And now is the time for lighting our Christ candle. We light this candle to remind us that the light of Christ lives within each one of us. And let us say together, I am the light of Christ. And now we're going to do our community blessing. So wherever you are, just either bless yourself or someone else in your room, and we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. And now if you'd like to join in our Lord's Prayer, Our Father, who is everywhere present, wholeness is your name. Your kingdom is come, your will is being done, in earth as it is in heaven. You give us this day and every day our daily bread, and you forgive us as we forgive. You lead us not in temptation, for you deliver us from error. For you are the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Divine Spirit, as we prepare for our meditation, we prepare ourselves for this week of uncertainty, a time of uncertainty in our lives, whether we're going to be with family or friends, or be by ourselves. We declare Thanksgiving to be a day of prayer. And we hold that thought as we go within. We forgive ourselves for all of our shortcomings, for the rash words we've used, for the actions we've taken. We forgive. We forgive ourselves, and as we forgive ourselves, we forgive others. We hold everyone in the divine light of forgiveness for whatever we have perceived that they have done. We are blessed to be in this place of peace. So as we prepare ourselves for the silence, we open our heart to the oneness of Spirit. place, this time, from the place of silence within, the time we have dwelt with the indwelling Spirit. We know that as that Spirit flows in and through us as us, we are able to move forth in oneness of spirit. And as we do that, we remember our family and friends, and we send this peace and this love out to them by mentioning their name at this time. So join me in mentioning the names of your family and friends that you would like this peace, this forgiveness, this oneness of spirit to be sent to. Together. We take all of these names and they are enfolded in love as they join all of the names in our prayer box and its silent unity. And even the names that well up in our heart later today, for God knows. And they are joined in the oneness of peace, of healing, of prosperity, of forgiveness. And we also know that we are in need of that as much. So let's put our name into the healing circle of love together. So throughout this day, we know that we are blessed. And we give thanks for our community, for our family and friends, for our loved ones, for those that we don't even know. We are blessed in this journey of life. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Anton and Laura. As always, the music is just perfect for the day, and we are so grateful for that. It feels really nice to have my table back here and to be able to stand without the lectern right in front of me. Last Sunday, I was right behind the lectern because I didn't have any place to put my things. And after service, somebody called me and said, "Carolyn, you don't ever to read your notes, and it looked like you were reading your notes, were you? And I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, I think that since they were right there in front of me, instead of just remembering and trusting that Spirit comes right through me, that I got sort of stuck on my notes. So this morning I feel much freer and much better right back here. When I work on my talks, they sort of muddle through my head during the week, and Saturday morning comes and I still don't know exactly what I'm going to do or say or how I'm going to do it. And I need a little tickler to get me started. And so what I did yesterday morning is I turned in the Daily Word to the Thanksgiving Sunday. I wanted to see, or the Thanksgiving Day, Thursday. And I wanted to see what the affirmation for the day was. And the affirmation for the day of Thanksgiving Day is, I live a life of gratitude. I live a life of gratitude. How, you might ask, can I live a life of gratitude with everything that's happening in the world today, and when every time I turn around, I hear no news, which sounds to me like good news? It's a big ask to say, I live my life in gratitude, isn't it? The world has always had challenges. Back in about 52 CE, the Apostle Paul wrote a letter to the very young early Christians in Thessalonica. And he wrote his letter to the Thessalonians to encourage them, because they were being strongly persecuted by the Romans. And he wanted to encourage them because he loved this young group of Christians that were so eager to spread the word. And listen to what he said in his letter. This letter is that understood to be the oldest writing in the New Testament, in the Christian scriptures. This is what Paul told the Thessalonians. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Jesus Christ for you. Give thanks in all circumstances. Can you imagine what this band of young Christians must have been thinking when they heard that? When their land was being confiscated, when they and their friends were being beaten, when some of them had been shunned by their families. And yet Paul was saying, give thanks in all circumstances. Haven't there been some times in your life that have been so dark that you might have thought, I wonder if I'll ever again feel thankful? How can I generate that feeling of thanksgiving? You're not alone. We've all had those times. And Reverend Tom Shepard, a Unity minister and theologian and writer, wrote an article that appeared in the first little article in this month's Daily Word. And when he was going through a challenging time, this is what he said about Thanksgiving, giving thanks. Meditating on the radical idea of giving thanks in all circumstances, I began to recognize the difference between giving thanks for and giving thanks during a personal, communal, or global catastrophe. I can't always be thankful for my circumstances, but I can always give thanks during adverse and challenging times. Isn't it amazing what just one shift in a small word can do I cannot necessarily be thankful for, but I certainly can be thankful during challenging times. Vera Dawson Tate, an early Unity writer, tells us this about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a vital part of our nature. It is as necessary in our lives as rain is to the thirsty soul. Thanksgiving sustains us. It nourishes us. It is to us as water is to parched land. Because when we are thankful, when we feel grateful, we are speaking to our own soul, and we are uplifting ourselves. We are being courageous in being able to live and to walk our spiritual path. Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, talked about Thanksgiving the same way, but in different words from Ms. Tate. Myrtle says, heaven and earth listen and respond to the soul that is quickened into praise and thanksgiving. Myrtle, who is one of my role models, is a wonderful example about how Thanksgiving truly works during healing. You may remember the story that I've told several times about when Myrtle was young. She was diagnosed with tuberculosis, and she was a very sickly child and teen and young adult. When Myrtle was in her 40s, she attended a lecture by metaphysical physician E.B. Weeks, and she heard these words: "You are a child of God, and you do not inherit sickness." Myrtle took these words to heart, and for nearly 2 years, she spent much of her time in prayer and meditation, sequestering herself even from her family. She praised each part of her body. She saw each organ being filled with light and with life. And she healed, living to the ripe old age of her mid to late 80s, vibrantly and filled with spirit. Thanksgiving, giving thanks, working with God, healed Myrtle's body. Recently, I had a situation in which I was not happy with myself. Something happened, and I expressed my anger about this situation in a very inappropriate way. Afterwards, I thought about it, and was I thankful for the situation? No. And I was not even thankful during the situation. But afterwards, I did feel gratitude, because I thought this experience showed me a growing edge, that it is my job to develop greater compassion for people and situations in which I feel dissatisfied or unhappy. So sometimes the during doesn't come until a little bit later. It's a retrospect kind of thing. And we know that we can feel gratitude when something has happened that allows us to grow spiritually. We can be thankful for forgiveness that we feel toward ourselves and toward others. We know that forgiveness is a spiritual practice that helps us to grow. In their book, The Quest, Richard and Alice Jafala remind us that it is not the words of gratitude or even the thoughts of gratitude that are the most valuable, that it is the feeling that we bring to those words that then empower the actions that we take. So as we begin to think about about Thanksgiving. We always want to ignite that flame of gratitude that lives within us all the time. So that when we say thank you to God, when we say thank you to our friends and our family, to our pets, those expressions of God right here on earth, we are doing it totally from our heart with that sense of feeling, knowing that what we are grateful for manifests in our lives in an ever greater way. During this Thanksgiving week, we might want to make a list for ourselves for all of those people, places, and things, activities for which we feel grateful. And then as we look at that list, as we read that list to ourselves, let us fan the flames of gratitude that live within us so that we are fully grateful, so that we feel the joy of gratitude surging through us. And on this Thanksgiving Day, hold in your hearts and know how grateful I am for each of you, the joy with which you fill me, and the gratitude that I have for all of you who through this closed down time have continued to support leadership, UCIR, Unity Church in Reading. It is with great love and appreciation that I thank you for who and what you are. Have a beautiful Thanksgiving week, and thank you.
Thank you. You know, one of the items that somebody asked during the week was, where are you while Carolyn's doing her talk? And at this time of church being closed to our congregation, I've also taken over responsibility for the soundboard. So I'm actually pressing the button of recording her so that during the week, if you'd like to hear her message again, you can go to YouTube or to our website and see the service again. So that's what I'm doing. Now is the time that we have set aside for our offertory. And we know that as we continue in this period, and the fact that you're not here doesn't mean that the rent doesn't go on or the utilities need to be paid. So there are continuing expenses. So this is the time that we bless our offering, and we know that we give of our time, our talents, and our treasure. And this is the time that we need to look to that treasure in giving. So let's all hold your offering in your hand. You can either send it in through our website by going on PayPal, or you can just write a check and put it in the mail, or you can drop it off. We're normally here Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. This week we'll only be here Tuesdays because we'll be closed on Wednesday and Thursday due to the holidays. So let's hold our offering in our hands and let's bless it together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And we are so blessed.
Now is time for our announcements. Once again, we just thank you for joining us. We have had so many opportunities to hear people say, we're so glad that we can see your service because we so much miss church. And we want you to know that we miss you too. There will be no classes this week. The office will be open on Tuesday, as Ken said, but we will be closed Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day Thursday. We will open up for regular office hours the following week. I think that's the week of the 30th. We will have virtual services only until further notice. Please refer to our e-blasts, to our emails, to the calls that we make to you, or call the church to see if we're going to be open. Right now, it looks like we will be closed for the foreseeable future, but please do find out. If you need prayer, please call the church or call me, and we will certainly pray together. This afternoon at 4 o'clock is the traditional Thanksgiving interfaith service. It will be live streamed, and Unity in Reading was going to take part in that service. I was going to be doing a reading. And then after carefully considering, I didn't feel like I would be in integrity with myself if I participated in a service where there were other people present when we were saying that we couldn't have services here at church. So please do turn into the live stream of this service, excuse me. In the e-blast that you got this week, there is a link to it. And there will be canned music. I think Karen Drucker's music is going to be played. And there will be quite a number of faith leaders who will be giving prayer or readings about Thanksgiving. Have a beautiful week this week, a lovely Thanksgiving. Be wise about how you choose to celebrate this year, because we want you all to be safe and to stay healthy. We love you. Have a lovely week.
Now's our time for our peace.
connection with each other. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Have a beautiful week and happy Thanksgiving.